everyone. I've had some requests over the years for videos so that you're able to do some yoga along with me. And here is the first video, hopefully in a string of videos. Let's just do a basic yoga flow today. We will have some standing postures, some postures where we will be lying on the floor and moving the spine in all different directions. I am specifically focusing on lymphatic drainage in this video and opening up the lungs. So let's get started. Stepping to the top of our mat. From here, let's bring our hands together at the heart, pressing the thumbs in towards the center of the chest. And while we're here, maybe even closing the eyes, taking a moment to notice where is the breath in the body. We could always shift forward and back in the feet as we continue to observe the breath. We could even sway a little left and right, keeping the knees soft. Lowering the head just a bit, just enough so an egg could roll off your head. Move whenever you want to move. Be still whenever the body wants stillness. Let's take a few more moments just to find the breath. Letting go of any judgment. Letting go of any competition. Letting go of any expectations from our body today. Breathing, feeling, listening to the body, staying in the present moment. Let's shape the breath, maybe putting one hand on the belly, bringing one hand up onto the heart. And as we inhale, breathing down into the abdomen, through the ribs, up into the chest, lifting the heart slightly. Exhale, soften the heart, draw the side ribs in, and contract the abdomen. 3-part breath, inhaling belly, ribs, heart, exhale, heart, ribs, belly. Let's keep this rhythm of filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and empty from the top down. We could even shape the breath just a little more by counting it. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Exhaling 3, 2, 1. Counting faster or even slower. Just using the next few quiet rhythmic breaths. An opportunity for observation. Encourage the breath to stay low in the body, maybe even bringing both hands onto the middle belly and the lower abdomen, softening through the shoulders, softening the knees, continuing to lengthen through the spine. And at any time, if we notice that the breath is still wanting to come up into the chest, meet your body where it is today. So maybe keep the 3-part breath. Continuously, mindfully, encouraging the breath to stay lower in the body. From this place, let's take a moment and notice any parts of your body that might feel a little tender today. If there are any parts of your body that are healing. Breathing into those places, and maybe just for today, working around those places. When you're ready, with the pelvis bones or the hips. Let's inhale, sweeping the arms back and around, reaching towards the sky. Exhale, taking the hands back like a big backstroke movement. Inhaling, bending the knees, sweeping the arms, even looking up if it feels comfortable. Exhale, back and down. Option to close the eyes at any time. Tuning into the breath. Feeling as if the breath ultimately sets the rhythm of the practice. The breath shapes the practice. Moving one breath, one movement. It may be adding in that 3 count again. Just giving us a steady pace. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3. And again, we could always count a little faster or even a little slower. A couple more. Breathing in through the nose or the mouth. Exhaling from the throat, as if you're going to say ha, like fogging a mirror. Let's practice the ha breath with the arms. Inhaling through the nose or the mouth. Exhaling. A couple more. Softening the jaw. Last one. Let's roll the shoulders down and back, stepping back on our mat, opening up onto the long edge of our mat. We'll extend the arms up overhead, moving into a 5-pointed star expression. Inhale, toes are out. Plie position, fingertips and arms extending towards the sky. Exhale, knees move in the same direction as the toes, elbows into the ribs. Inhale, rising up and overhead. Exhale, lowering down, moonflower flow. Inhale, one breath to lift. Exhale, one breath, slowly lowering. Option to close the eyes if we're sensing any tension at all in the low back. Maybe there are some bits of resistance in the hips or the knees or the shoulders. Exhale with that ha breath again, giving the body an opportunity to release any tension from the jaw, down the spine, out to the arms and the legs, possibly relieving or opening up those places that are holding tension, relieving that tension with the breath. Exhale. A couple more like this. Inhaling, arms come overhead. Exhale, shifting the hips back, keeping the head higher than the heart higher than the hips. We sweep the arms and sweep overhead. Sunflower flow. One breath, one movement, keeping the spine long as we press back through the hips. Neutral spine, looking straight ahead. Head and neck in alignment with the rest of the spine. Keeping that ha breath, or maybe softly keeping the lips touching and keeping that ha sensation, maybe preserving the heat. Inhaling through the nose, exhale. ha breath with the lips touching will create almost a hollow effect in the back of the throat. Two more. Exhale halfway down, bringing the hands onto the thighs, keeping the spine long where we are. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale with your tongue out. Lion's breath. Inhale. Exhaling. You can even shake the head a little. One more. Let's take our time to slowly come up. Being kind to the blood pressure. Walk the feet in. Let's step to the top of our mat. Inhaling the arms up and overhead. Extended mountain. Exhale, sweeping the arms back and around, palms up, maybe elbows in towards the waist. Just a conservative chair expression. Utkatasana. Inhale, pulling the elbows back and sweeping up overhead. Exhale. Practicing either the ha breath from the throat, mouth open, or that ha breath with the lips softly touching. Establishing any breath, knowing we can change our mind at any time. When it feels right for you, maybe taking the arms out just a little bit higher, maybe even to shoulder height. Arms can always come just a little bit away from the waist, giving the body plenty of time to adapt to the movement, to ready the rotator cuff, the ribs, and the spine. Maybe bringing the arms up a little higher. The higher the arms, the more tension that this could put into the neck and shoulders. So knowing at any time that we can keep the hands in close to the body, continuing to warm the legs while we're protecting the shoulders, the neck, and the head. A few more. Easy chair flow. Any expression with the arms that feels right for you. Keep going. Keeping the spine long. Allowing the hips to hinge back behind us. With our chair flow, we can even lift the heels just a little bit, maybe just enough to fit a credit card or slide a credit card under the soles of the feet to begin. And then we can always add on to that lift through the heels and the ankles. Option to close the eyes at any time. In the words of Beth Shaw, the creator of YogaFit, there is more to feel than there is to see in our practice. And feeling is the language of the universe. One more. Inhale, extended mountain, exhaling chair, Utkatasana. Inhale, rising up overhead. Exhale, swan diving down, keeping the spine long, eventually resting the hands to the thighs, maybe the shins, and maybe allowing the upper back, the head, and the neck to soften. Let's shake the head, yes, and turn it left and right, and maybe breathe breathing from the throat. Just a few sighs of relief. If there's any stubborn tension in the body, possibly releasing it with those heavy sighs of relief. Keeping the head and the neck loose, protecting the neck and the base of the skull. You could press the belly against your thighs, working with a little bit of a flushing effect through the gut and abdomen. One more heavy exhale. When you're ready, let's walk the hands up to the shins. Hold it there with a flat spine. Walk it up to the thighs. Maybe hold it here, easy on the blood pressure. And then bring the hands up. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Option to lift the heels in our extended mountain expression. Maybe turning the palms back behind us, moving from the armpits. Option to look up towards the sky, opening the throat. Breathing into the chest, exaggerate the inhale around your heart. And then let it go. 2 more like this. Dropping the heels, inhale, reach again. Exhale, taking the arms down. Let's swan dive, hands to the shins or the thighs, walking the hands towards the floor. Taking our left leg back, lowering our knee, and then taking the right foot back, both knees down to the floor. We're coming into all fours position, which sometimes is also known as tabletop in different styles of yoga. So while we're here, noticing where our comfort is in our foundation in the hand. We could always spread out the fingers. We could even use our fist with the thumbs forward, shoulder, elbow, wrist alignment. Or we could come down onto the elbows, which frees up the wrist altogether. The knees are underneath the hip joints. From here, softening from the belly. As we inhale, let's release the belly. Flip the tailbone back and maybe even just gaze forward softly. Exhale, pulling the belly button up, tucking the tailbone under and dropping the head. Cat and cow flow. Inhaling into cow, shoulders pressing back, elbows pressing back. Exhaling into cat. Practicing that paw breath again if it feels right for the body, lips together, or open the throat a little more. Hinging from the abdomen, so we're actively expanding and contracting through the intestines and the gut. We may want to pace it again, exhaling for about a count of 3. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Just a couple more. Let's find neutral spine. And from here, we might want to rest the hips back towards the heels. We could even walk the hands forward. If we feel like we're craving a downward facing dog today, let's reach through the fingertips, elbows slightly elevated, rolling the elbows in towards each other. Shifting forward, tucking the tailbone, tucking our toes under, lifting the hips, and softly lifting the hips up towards the sky in our downward facing dog. We could always walk the dog here, alternating a knee bend. You could even add in just a little more rotation through the pelvis and the trunk of the body. This could also be done from the elbows if it's more comfortable. Keeping our downward facing dog, child's pose, or dolphin, just whatever feels right for the body. Wherever you are, find the breath, whether we're moving or still. Let's become aware of where the breath is in the body. Let's find a still point. And from here, let's all lower our knees down to the floor into child's pose. Balasana. From here, looking between our hands, let's shift forward and back just a few times. Easy does it. Just a gentle, flowing plank. Matching movement to the breath. Maybe just 2 or 3 more of these. Absolutely no rush. And this can always be done with the knees lifted if it feels more comfortable, from our plank into child's pose, or from any plank into a downward facing dog. So take your time to work with whatever combination of movements feel right for your body, knowing that at any moment we can change our minds, listening to the body, guided by the breath. Let's do a couple more. Any expression of flow that we feel is right for us. Meeting in down dog or child's pose, let's look between our hands. Maybe shifting forward just a little bit, lifting our left leg and lunging it through. Tucking our back toe, stepping forward. Let's come up maybe just halfway. Pause, taking our time, coming up the rest of the way. Stepping to the top of our mat, meeting in mountain pose. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Seeing the feet at about the width of the pelvis bones, or stepping them out to the width of the hips. Let's web out the toes. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead. Exhale, swan diving, any forward fold. If we know that our back is feeling tender, if we've ever had sciatic nerve or maybe SI joint discomfort, we could always keep the hands on the thighs to support the spine. Exhaling from the throat in our forward fold, wherever that may be, hands somewhere on the legs, avoiding the knees, or maybe even closer towards the floor. Wherever that forward fold is today, let the hips sway a little bit. Staying aware of the sensations in the soles of our feet. Notice how they shift ever so subtly when we move with the hips. We can shake the head yes, and turn it left and right. Let's come to a still point. Exhale from the throat. Walking the hands up nice and slow. Reverse swan dive. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Let's gather the breath a few times. Inhale, reaching up and overhead. Exhale, hands can come down to the heart. Inhale, reaching overhead. Arms can go behind us. Just allowing the arms to move in any expressive way, any way that is inspired by your breath. Our hands at the heart, taking a moment to shape the breath again, keeping it low in the body. Bowing the head, back of the neck soft, knees soft, foundation strong, shoulders relaxed down and back. Lengthening through the spine, core engaged, dynamic tension. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Let's step the left foot back, casual stride. Lunging forward, bending the right knee, seeing that the right knee moves in the same direction as our toes. Warrior one. Holding here as we lengthen through the fingertips, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Softening our gaze, and maybe even closing the eyes. When we close the eyes, it's very common for the body to sway a little bit. The body is moving through almost a physical pendulation where it's feeling for its center point. And we could always just stop and move with those subtle sways and pendulations. Eventually, maybe opening the eyes and anchoring the body, coming to that still point. Notice the breath, breathing low down to the belly, down through the hips. When you're ready, let's sweep the arms back. And we could always keep the hands stacked, maybe the left arm on top of the right arm. We could put the hands by the waist or the hips. We could even lace the fingers together, lengthening out the wrist and relaxing through the shoulders. Allow your body to experiment with these different arm positions and move towards comfort as the body gets familiar with this. From wherever we are with the arms, continuing to lunge forward, dropping the chin as we inhale, pulling the ribs up, breathing into the heart and the chest, feeling as if the heart functions like a single lung in the center of the chest. The exhales can be really breathy, almost like a sigh. They can be a little more subtle. Opening the throat as a natural extension of the spine, continuing to press back and down into the left heel while we lunge forward and pull up through the collarbones and sternum. Just one more big breath. From here, let's relax our hands. Bring the shoulders to center. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan diving, arms out to the side, bringing our palms onto the right leg, supporting the spine. Keeping the spine long. Head is higher than the heart. Shoulders and heart higher than the hips. Let's straighten the right leg and maybe hinge back through the tailbone a little more. If we're feeling a lot of rounding in our spine, if we're feeling this spine flexion, maybe recruit a little bit of a cow pose in this. So pulling forward through the collarbones, releasing the tailbone back, opening up through the ribs and the abdomen. This is our expression just for today of pyramid pose. Holding it here, especially if we've had any sinus drainage, maybe we've had some discomfort with breathing, we could always stay here. This may be less laborious of a breath for us. If we're curious about lowering a little more, let's slowly with our exhale, walk the hands past the knees towards the floor, stopping at any point if we notice sensations that make us curious. At some point, relaxing the head and the neck. We could always have yoga blocks under the hands if that's more comfortable. Let's check in with our head and neck, shaking the head, yes. And then turning it left and right. Exhaling from the throat. If there's any tension in the low back or the hips, we could help to release it by relaxing the jaw. So maybe move the jaw around. Cranial sacral connection. One more exhale here, long exaggerated exhale. Let's take our sweet time, bending the front knee, walking our hands up onto our right thigh, lengthening out the spine, neutral spine here. Reverse swan dive, sweeping the arms up and overhead, meeting in our warrior one pose. From here, let's turn our left heel in, and we'll open to the left long edge of our mat to find warrior two. We may want to walk the right foot more to the middle of the mat, creating what we call heel to arch alignment on the feet, engaging the glute muscles, the buttocks, pressing down into the inner blades of the feet, and pressing our knees out. As we bend our right knee, we see that it moves in the same direction as the second, third, and fourth toes. You're always welcome to inch that left foot back a little more for comfort. Let's line the shoulders over the hips, turning our right palm up, taking our left hand down by the low back. Inhale, reaching straight up through the fingertips, pulling up from the armpit and ribs, maybe even looking up to the fingertips. Let's close the palm and then open it. We can always reposition the head and neck forward, or even looking over the left shoulder for greater comfort. We're noticing any tenderness or even fatigue in the shoulder. Bend the elbow, shorten the lever, bring the limb in closer to the body, possibly creating a little more comfort. From here, maybe extending a little more through the right fingertips. Let's pat ourselves on the back. The elbow might stay high, or it can lower down a little bit. As we inhale, imagine that we're pushing the breath up against the ribs, underneath the right armpit. Exaggeration in the inhale, maybe even flaring out our nostrils as we breathe in. One more. Let's extend through the fingertips again, warrior two. Bringing our right elbow or hand onto the right thigh, allowing the hips to hinge back. Extending the left arm either up to the sky or over the head, maybe even resting the hand by the low back still to protect our shoulder and rotator cuff. We could always stay still or flow through a few circle movements with the breath, inhaling to open, exhaling to close. Switching directions at any time. And again, if there's any tenderness or discomfort in the shoulder, the neck, or any part of the spine, this could be done with the elbow instead, shortening the lever, possibly creating more comfort. One more inhale, one more exhale, moving or holding. Let's all take our time to find any still point in this pose. Drawing our left hand down to the waist, slowly rising up to our warrior two pose. Let's turn the right toe in and take this out long on the mat into a standing straddle expression, lowering the hands down towards the waist or hips. We're keeping the spine tall without bending the knees and without locking out the legs. Knees stay soft, call it a micro bend, promoting healthy circulation, healthy neuromuscular communication, pressing our tailbone back, leading with the heart, pulling the abdominal muscles in, maybe even pulling up through the pelvic floor, mula bandha. Option to walk the hands down to the thighs, maybe staying here, or walk the hands down a little more. Moving nice and slow, giving the body plenty of time to pause for sensations to make themselves known. Time for us to decide what to do with those sensations, what to do with those feelings in the body, whether it's emotional or physical. We might want to pause and study the sensation. We might want to move through it. We might want to back away from it. Just give your body time in this standing straddle to experiment. No matter where we are, the head stays nice and relaxed. We can comfortably shake the head yes and turn it left and right. Practicing maybe 2 or 3 more long exhales, sinking breath. Safely come out of this pose, feeling the knees soft. Let's walk the hands up, maybe to the shins or the thighs. We might want to begin inching the feet in towards each other. And then any combination of slowly lifting and slowly shifting through the foundation to safely bring us up to standing. In our time, let's meet at the top of the mat, sweeping the arms, gathering the breath, moving the arms in any natural way, 3 to 5 breaths like this. Maybe even counting the breath, inhaling 1, 2, 3, exhale 3, 2, 1. One more inhale, one more exhale. Taking our time, eventually meeting with our hands at the heart. Seeing the feet at the width of the pelvis or the hip bones, knees soft. Shoulders rolled down and back. Inhaling the arms up and overhead. Stepping our right foot back, a casual stride, a short stance, warrior 1. Lunging forward, seeing that the left knee bends in the same direction as the second, third, and fourth toe. Holding here in our warrior one expression, bowing the head, continuing to lengthen, reaching from the armpits first, then from the fingertips. As we inhale, the lungs naturally encourage a little more length in the side body. And as we exhale, there's a subtle contraction, a drawing in of the muscles around the ribs and the armpits. Continuing to breathe easy here. Option to close the eyes, tuning into any sort of sway or physical pendulation type movement. One more easy breath here. When you're ready, inhale, sweeping the arms behind us. Big chest expansion, exaggerating the reach. We can stack the right arm over the left. We could keep the hands at the hips or waist. We could always lace the fingers. If we feel a pretty heavy bend in the wrist, working on neutralizing or lengthening out the wrist joints. Feeling the shoulders dropping away from the ears, continuing to lunge forward. Head and neck relaxed. Engage the muscles in the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Inhale big into the heart. Exhale, soften the chest. Exhaling from the throat, lips together, or the audible ha breath. You could always allow the chin to lift, maybe extending through the neck and the head as a natural extension of our thoracic back bend. One more big inhale. Exhale, relaxing forward. Releasing the hands. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan diving forward, leading with the heart. Keeping the head higher than the heart. Heart is higher than the hips. Spine is neutral. If we're noticing any rounding in our upper back or spine, try flipping your hips back, remembering cow pose, exaggerating the lift from the ribs. It might feel like a back bend, even in neutral spine. Holding it here, you could always straighten the left leg just a little bit, keeping that micro bend for healthy circulation. Holding it here, it might be the best place just for today if we've been having any allergies or any just, tenderness in the chest and lungs. We could always stay here. As an alternative, we can experiment with lowering just a bit, lowering the hands away from the knee joint. Maybe relaxing the belly onto the thigh, a little belly flushing, dropping the head and the neck. Hands can reposition themselves in any way to find a sense of support in the pose. Relaxing the head and the neck, exaggerating the exhales again. It could even be an audible sigh. I'm going to count to 3, and then on the count of 3, we'll all do one big sigh together. So let's take in a big breath. 1, 2, 3. Let's try that a couple times. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Let's soften our left knee, walking the hands up to the shin, past the knee, lengthen the spine, taking our time to prop up the spine. Inhaling the arms up and overhead, establishing that strong warrior one stance again. When we're ready, let's turn the right heel in and face the long edge of the mat for warrior two. As we're lunging forward into that left leg, seeing that the knee moves in the same direction as the second, third, and fourth toe. We may want to walk our left foot in more to the middle of the mat. If we were to draw a line from our left heel to the arch of the right foot, we call this heel to arch alignment, and this could help to represent a little more neutrality in the hips and the SI joints. It could also relieve discomfort in the sciatica area. Extending out through our fingertips, let's turn the left palm up, resting our right hand by the leg or low back, reaching straight up with the hand. We can look up, very traditional, but also the most stressful. We could look forward, or we could just gently gaze softly back behind the right shoulder. Continuing to lunge forward, exaggerating the reach at the top of the breath as we inhale, natural retraction, contraction as we exhale, feeling the lungs as the origination in our stretch. It's the expansion of the lung out to the other muscles, out to the ribs, up into the shoulders. The lungs initiate the stretch. Inhaling as we reach, knowing at any time that we could bend the elbow. We're noticing any discomfort, any tenderness in your neck, your head, jaw, or spine. Bring the elbow closer to the body. Let's open and close the hand a few times. Still breathing mostly to that upper left lung. Let's come to any still point, patting ourselves on the back with the left hand. Sometimes it helps to circle back, repositioning the humerus bone, and then bend the elbow. The elbow might be up and back, or it could be forward. This could be a lot kinder to the rotator cuff. From wherever we are, as we inhale, breathe into the space under your left armpit, feeling as if we can flare out the side rib a bit. Here, cow's face arms in our reverse warrior. When you're ready, inhale, releasing the arms out to warrior two. Let's take our left hand or elbow onto the left thigh. And maybe just for today, keeping the hand up high so we're able to maintain length on the side body. If you're pretty familiar with the pose, or if you want to experiment, you're welcome to reach down towards the floor, ensuring that the spine is not rounding too much, but rather we're keeping the side obliques engaged and we're maintaining length, lifting our ribs and our armpit away from the thigh. We can keep the hand close to the body or at any angle out from the shoulder, looking up, in alignment with the heart, or down towards our foot, pressing our shoulders away from the ears, exaggerating the inhale here. Exhale, Breathing into the upper right lung. Noticing if the body is craving any movement. It could be enough for the feet to be rooted. The lower body is pretty still. So maybe moving the upper body just a little bit with a nice big circle through the arm or with an elbow. Noticing what sort of movement is inspired by your breath. Remembering there's no right or wrong thing to do, long as you're moving away from pain, moving towards comfort, giving the body an adequate amount of time to feel at ease and to experiment. Continuing to move a couple more breaths or establishing your still point. When you're ready, let's all bring the right hand by the waist or the hip. Inhale, rising up, warrior two. Looking past the left fingertips. Let's turn our left toe in, finding a standing straddle expression. Both toes are forward. The wider the stance, the more tension or pressure this will put on the hip joint. A little bit of a conservative stance, with the toes even in a little, could relieve some tension on the low back and in that SI joint region. From our stance, whether conservative or wide, legs stay straight. If the knees bend at all, that's a sign that we're creating some tension in the body. So pause at any point when the knees begin to bend. From here, we find the breath. Big inhale. Exhale, pressing the hips behind us, walking the hands towards the thighs, and then maybe down towards the shins, stopping at any point to study a sensation, maybe moving down lower towards the floor, maybe coming up out of the pose to catch the breath. At some point, pausing, relax the head and the neck all together. Breathe from the throat. Continue to practice your long exhales, inhaling for about a count of 3, exhaling for maybe a count of 4, 5, or 6. Keep breathing easy. Exhaling from the throat. To safely come out of this pose, let's slowly inch the feet in towards each other. And in any combination of moving the feet in and walking the hands up, taking our time to bring ourselves up to standing. Let's meet on our mat at ease, moving into our standing balancing pose. Perhaps standing with both feet on the floor, closing the eyes and just noticing the body again might sway a little, allowing the body to find those places where there is a little more comfort, and noticing if we feel a little more balanced with the hands either close to the body or farther away from the body. So sometimes we balance a little better when the arms are out, almost like a tightrope walker that would use a stick to counterbalance. Some of us just feel a little more secure with the limbs in closer to the trunk of the body. Neither is considered more or less advanced. It's just a matter of discovering where our body is today and moving towards the most centered point. Let's take another couple of breaths to establish some still point with the hands. When you're ready, shift over into your left foot and let's bend our right knee. We could always keep our toe on the floor, rotating the knee out, maybe pressing our right heel into the inside of the left ankle, keeping the hips level. Our foot might stay on the floor here. Of course, we could do all different expressions with the arms. As an alternative, we can experiment with sliding the foot up onto the leg, sliding it up anywhere on the inside of the standing leg, avoiding the kneecap. It just so happens that this posture can create a little bit of vulnerability in the knee if we're putting pressure on it. If we're lifting that knee high, keeping the hips leveled, keeping the side trunk body open, maybe reaching the hands up, wrist higher than the heart, opening and closing the hands a few times. Bowing the head enough so an egg roll off our head. And engaging the pelvic floor. Mula Bandha, the root thought. So Mula Bandha is the act of engaging a group of muscles in the pelvic floor. One of the easiest ways to do it at first is to act surprised and also to squeeze the urethral area. So the same muscles we would use to stop urination, we're engaging those muscles as well. Come to any still point, holding the posture, holding Mula Bandha, softening the muscles in the face. Start to feel any subtle cramping or discomfort in your standing leg. This is common. This could subside over time. Could, might, maybe, could be open to the spectrum of possibility. When you're ready, relaxing the hands. Let's relax our leg and just step onto both feet. Maybe even roll out the foot and the ankle of that standing leg. When you're ready, let's find both feet on the floor, giving our body time to feel fully supported by the earth. Shifting forward and back, maybe even closing the eyes. Experiment with different arm positions. There's plenty of time here. So taking our sweet time, practicing patience with the body to feel for that place. Where is the foundation for us? Not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, energetically. Where could we begin? When you're ready, shifting into the right leg, keeping the knee soft, lifting the left heel, bending the knee, opening our knee to the side. The head is relaxed, the gaze is down, past the nose, past the cheeks, towards the floor. Softening this gaze could create a little more organized processing for the nervous system. And that organization and processing could create a little more physical balance. Option to draw our foot up on the leg. We can even assist drawing our leg up, feeling as if the hips square themselves. And then again, allowing the arms to move in any place for comfort. You want to practice that little pumping action with the hands. The hands can be in a lot of different places, preferably the wrist higher than the heart so that we're promoting draining in towards the trunk of the body. This is for lymphatic drainage purposes. Couple more easy breaths here. And you can move in and out of the pose. You can get out of the pose and then get back in it. Just a few more breaths here. When you're ready, slowly releasing the arms. Let's step both feet down onto the floor, giving the body time to feel fully supported by the earth. If you'd like, grab a sip of water here. So we'll be coming down to the floor for the next few poses, and there are a lot of ways to get up and down onto the floor. I just want to show you a particular way to transition that could protect your low back and your spine. Let's get a little better view on this. Go from standing down to the floor. We can inhale the arms up, exhale, deeply bending the knees, bringing the hands onto the thighs, pressing the tailbone back, walking our hands down gently, taking one foot back, lowering a knee, and then the other, finding all fours. From here, sweeping our feet over to one direction and sitting the hips back, coming around into easy seated. Let's extend the legs out in front of us, seated staff, actively bending the knees if we're feeling any rounding in the spine, maybe even sitting on a pillow or a blanket. From wherever we are, let's inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan diving, walking the hands down to the thighs, maybe bringing the hands to the shins, eventually softening the upper back. We could always move the hands towards the feet, no matter where we are, keeping the shoulders back and away from the ears. In this pose, there is a tendency, there's an ambition to reach, which could lift the scapula and move the shoulders by the ears. We're trying to achieve this nice neutral grounding in the upper spine, but at the same time, stripping away tension from the neck and the shoulders. So the hands can go really anywhere, long as we keep some space between the ears and the shoulders. Let's relax the head and the neck. Practicing a few long exhales here. We might exhale from the throat, relaxing the jaw to relieve any tension that might be hiding in the low back or hips. We could even exhale as if we're whistling or blowing out candles. The longer the exhale, the greater chance there is to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system and create more of a relaxation response from the body. From wherever we are with our breath, relax the head and the neck. Breathe down into the low back. We often feel the breath in the front of the body. The breath moves in 360 degrees. It expands out to the side body, into the low back. Let's think about the breath in the low back, in the middle back, all the way up to the shoulder blades. As we exhale, relaxing the shoulders, the middle back, and the low back. 3-part breath with the backs of the lungs, inhaling into the low back, through the middle back, to the shoulders. Exhale, softening the shoulders, the middle back, and the low back. Still practicing the long exhale. One more like this. Let's find our own natural rhythm, keeping the head down and relaxed. Begin to walk the hands in towards the body and slowly stacking the vertebra, stacking the larger vertebra in the low back to the middle back, up to the neck and the head. From here, let's bend both of our knees. We can open the knees out really wide if we want here. We might continue to press the toes down or lift the feet up. We're just going to rock and roll a little bit to massage some of the lymph nodes and the regions in the pelvis and around the kidneys and adrenal glands. As we inhale, we're coming forward, a lot like cow pose. And then exhale, rounding the spine like cat. Inhale, forward, inhale. Exhale back, inhaling forward, opening the belly, stretching through the intestines and the ribs, and then rounding back, stretching along the kidneys and adrenal glands. Exaggerating the inhales and the exhales, big breath in. 2 more. Let's come to a neutral position. From here, bending both knees and scooting to the top of our mat, making sure we have enough room behind us to comfortably lie down. To safely come down to lying on our backs, we can extend one leg out and we'll place the arm of the bent knee just on the outside, so it looks like this. The arm is on the outside of the leg. And then our free hand with the extended leg, we can have our hand open and maybe put the palm of the hand, cradle the base of the skull, and place the thumb along the nape of your neck. Let's contract the belly and abdomen, beginning to slowly roll back, bringing our knee with us. And once the shoulders are relaxed, releasing the hand, drawing both knees in towards the chest. We're holding on either to the sides of the thighs or behind the thighs, keeping the shoulders as flush to the floor as possible. If you feel like this is a reach with a lot of effort, maybe grab a yoga strap or put a pillow under your head and neck and just try to keep that reach conservative. Having our hands in a comfortable place, shoulders flush to the floor, maybe knees together, maybe knees open. Let's rock a little bit side to side. Option to close the eyes, tuning into the sensations of support from the earth, maybe even affirming that sensation. I feel supported. I feel support. I have support. Let's bring our knees and hips to a neutral position. Seeing our knees at about hips width, let's lower our feet flat to the floor. Placing our hands down beside us on the mat. As we inhale, pull the heels back. You'll feel just a little bit of a slide along the sacrum, signaling some stabilizing muscles are awake. From here, pushing down into the feet, gently lifting the hips. It can be just a little tilt of the tailbone, or it can be a much higher lift, moving into bridge. As we exhale, slowly lowering the hips down. Flowing this a few times if it feels right for the body. Inhale, peeling up the tailbone. Exhale, slowly lowering down. Knowing that you can hold bridge at any time. So maybe holding bridge for 5 to 10 breaths, or flow in and out of the pose as you see fit for your body. Using the breath as a guide on an exhale, lowering the hips towards the floor, softening the hip bones. Let's draw the knees in once more, neutralizing the low back. From the knees at about hips width, we'll lower the feet again and let the knees sway gently left and right. So maybe at first moving with just 30% to half of our effort, easing the trunk of the body into this rotation movement. And the slower we move, the more time we have to notice or to be aware of any subtle sensations that could help us to refine our own personal practice. Noticing if we're having more or less comfort either to the left or the right. And as we move into this gentle spine twist, moving in the direction towards comfort, we might want to push into our feet to lift the hips a little bit. And as the knees come over, it's natural to feel that one of our shoulders might pull away from the floor a little. If you feel a very big lift in your shoulder, maybe take the hand onto the belly, preventing any excessive tension on the spine. As an alternative, both arms can come out, and we could always look straight up in the same direction as the twist, or in the opposite direction. As we hold this bent knee supine twist, we may want to close our eyes, bringing awareness to the breath, noticing where is the path of least resistance for the breath. What part of the body is most open to receive the breath? If your knees are twisted over to the left, notice the breath in the right lung. If your knees are twisted to the right, notice the breath in the left lung. We can stay on this one side if we're noticing that this is creating a lot of comfort for us. We might just really need this on one side. If we're curious to switch sides, let's slowly bring our head and our neck to neutral. Arms come in, and then slowly bring the knees up, walking our feet to neutral, repositioning the hips. And maybe moving into that gentle sway again, giving our hips, our low back, our spine, even the organs, opportunity to express physical sensations to us, sensations that may ask us to be a little gentler, sensations that may ask us to move our feet out wider or even closer together. When you're ready, moving into that rotation into the other side, we might press into our feet. Naturally, our shoulder might peel away a little. If we feel the shoulder has a lot of space from the floor, we might want to put a pillow or a blanket under that shoulder. Reposition the hands in any natural way. Position the head and the neck. Palms facing up could encourage a little more openness in the chest. Sometimes palms facing down eases tension on the shoulder, and it could even help us to feel a little more grounded, a little more secure. Let's find the breath. Again, noticing where is it going, all on its own. Where's the path of least effort? Breathing deeply into that place and allowing that ease to expand out from this place. So eventually the breath effortlessly fills the entire trunk of the body. Couple more easy breaths here, and again, stay if your body wants to stay. Let's bring our head and neck to neutral. Bring the arms in close to the body. Let's bring our knees to neutral. Feet firm on the floor. Spine fully supported, low back neutral. Drawing our knees in towards the chest, and maybe this time opening the knees out wide. Happy baby pose, also known as the dead bug in some styles of yoga. We can flex our feet, maybe soles of the feet facing up towards the ceiling. Maybe taking the hands and binding around the big toe. So you have the peace fingers that go between the first and second toe. And then you have the thumb that caps over the top of the big toe, touching the middle knuckle of your index finger. If we find that reaching for the toes creates discomfort or rounding in the spine, let go of the bind and let the hands press down on the thighs instead. Another alternative is to bring the elbows to the insides of the knees or thighs and to wrap the arms around the outsides of the feet. No matter where we go with this, noticing the sensations of effort in the body. And are those sensations creating a practice that promotes ahimsa, self-love and nonviolence? Or are those sensations creating possible damage to the body? Just checking in with ourselves. C-IAYT. Study the practice for yourself. Softening through through the hips and pelvis, maybe even feeling as if the breath begins in the pelvis and the groin region, and then it moves through the lungs to the middle trunk of the body up to the heart. Exhale, relax the heart, the ribs, and the pelvis. Softening the jaw, maybe even that ha breath again. Exhaling as if we're going to fall the mirror. We might even see a red, vaporescent light leaving with the breath. One more long exhale here. When you're ready, release any bind on the feet or legs. Let's draw the knees in close and stretch the legs up. Legs up the wall. Viparita Karani. Let's point and flex our feet, promoting some healthy circulation and possibly even some lymphatic drainage down towards the gut and trunk of the body. Rolling out the ankles. Rolling the ankles both clockwise and counterclockwise. Common to hear some little snap, crackle, pops when we do this, as long as those sensations aren't followed with any pain, bright lights, dizziness, or nausea. Stretch the legs a little, maybe some movements from synchronized swimming. Yourself the next minute or so to move in any natural way. We can always keep the legs up high, or if you feel like your body is ready to move into different movements, lower your legs and give your time to move in any way. This is a good time also to grab any blankets, pillows, socks, or even jackets, preparing us for final relaxation and meditation. Continue to follow your own breath. Time, get comfortable for final relaxation, and you might want to lie on your back. You could lie on your belly, on your side, or even come up to seated. Wherever we are, let's become aware of the body, creating as much comfort as possible. You can open or close the eyes at any time. Our meditation is revolving around the breath, giving it a little more character. feeling it, seeing it, and listening for it. Sensory integration. So as we begin, first let's just feel for the breath. And in feeling for the breath, we might actually sense the air all around us as it enters in through the nostrils, moving against the hairs in the nose, against smaller sensory organs. We sense the temperature of the breath. We even can sense in the nostrils where there may be more or less flow from left to right nostril. And at some point, as the breath moves to the back of the throat and down into the lungs, we might find the breath, feeling it by way of the body, by way of the stomach or the shoulders, maybe even the side ribs, noticing where does the breath go. The breath itself has its own natural migration down into the lungs. So just feeling for that for the next few quiet moments. Let's see the breath. It's all around us. We are immersed in the breath even now. So maybe see it like a beautiful silvery blue, vaporescent energy, like the color of a blue moon. And as we inhale, we draw this blue light into the body, noticing where it goes, noticing any places that it might pass over. Staying patient with the breath and just watching as this light fills the body, eventually seeping out of the pores, and perhaps even seeing ourselves, our own physical body, becoming a little more faint, a little harder to see, till eventually we're only seeing the expression of this beautiful pulsating blue light. As we inhale, the light expands, an orb of energy expanding out. And as we exhale, the light might slightly contract in. Notice if the color fades or if it becomes saturated. Just watching. If you're noticing any tension in the jaw, the neck, or any other part of the body, you could try taking the tip of your tongue up to your gum line, just behind the two front teeth. And this will naturally soften some of the muscles and the nerves that move back from the jaw directly into the brain. This is called Jiva Bandha. Separating the bottom lip away from the top lip. As we exhale, the breath moves out along the sides, the pockets of the cheeks. Let's listen for the breath. Without making an audible sound, but rather relying on the power of suggestion in our mind to hear the brain. As we inhale, absorbing the sound ah, breathing in the sound ah. And as we exhale in our minds, hearing the sound E. Inhaling ah, exhaling E. For the next 3 quiet minutes, you might want to keep 1, 2, or even all 3 senses of the breath, seeing it, the silvery blue light, feeling it, and hearing it. Let's begin to, with fractions of effort, begin to deepen the breath. Encouraging the breath to begin low in the hips and in the abdomen, and then letting the breath move up to fully fill the lungs all the way up into the chest and around the heart. Rolling the breath out of the body, relaxing the heart, the middle of the body, and then the belly and the low back. Feeling the breath as it creates this undulation, wave-like motion. Supporting the characteristics and the element of water creating maybe even a sense of buoyancy in our bodies, feeling a little bit light, feeling as if we have the ability to rise above it all and float effortlessly through life. Continue to deepen the breath, and at some point you might want to take in one really big inhale and just hold it for 3 counts. You're welcome to do it with me. Let's exhale all the way. Big inhale, belly, ribs, heart. Pause, 3, 2, 1, let it go. A couple more like this. Big inhale. Hold it, 3, 2, 1, let it go. Just one more. 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Let's invite bits of movement to the body, from lying or seated, wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. If we're lying down, we may want to stretch the arms out a little and maybe even bend the knees and place your feet down on the floor. Please take your time. For those of us protecting our low back or any part of the body today, let the knees sway a little bit left and right. And again, notice where there is more comfort. When you're ready, roll onto one side and breathe there. 2 or 3 breaths. Let's give the body time to digest and understand where it is in time and space. Giving time for the blood pressure to adapt. When you're ready, using your free top arm, press down into the floor and slowly bring yourself up to any seated position. To close our practice, we may want to bring the palms together and up to the center of the chest, pressing the thumbs into the center of the chest. Press with your left thumb, feeling for the effort, feeling for the sensation of pressure, and try to match it with your right thumb. And maybe just continue to press with the left, press with the right, working on centering the sensations in the center of the body. Let's lower the head enough, again, so an egg could roll off. Softening the eyes, the eyebrows, the expression on our face. Let's draw in a breath together, inhaling, exhaling from the throat. A couple more like this, inhaling through the nose or the mouth, lengthening the spine. In closing our practice, I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells, a place of infinite love and infinite light. When we are all in this place together, we are one. My soul greets yours. Namaste. Enjoy your beautiful day. And remember, as long as you're breathing, you're doing yoga. Namaste, everyone.